Well, good and happy Fridays. Mm-hmm. Heyo. So we got a couple things to cover this fine Friday. Just some housekeeping stuff. We've got let's see. We've got a sale, a brewing for all of yous. 10% off exhausts now through the end of the month. Trying to get through the February doldrums a bit, and we also want to bring attention to all of those very sad Porsches in quarantine at the port. Pour one out for your quarantined Porsche happens to be at the port. I appreciate that, Douglas. We've been working on it. You notice the pile of goodies we got back here. Some things with stuff on them. This is from our last segment that Charles and I spent last Friday. We talked for 3 hours on engine stuff, so you guys will get a bit of an edumacation starting next week. Probably next week when that one drops. Yeah, probably next week. I was sharing with everyone a whiskey tumbler that my friends at Discommon have released. It's quite lovely. It is machined steel. It is quite nice. It is quite heavy. It keeps the whiskey cold. It's very nice, and it feels nice in hand. Except it's really damn cold. Can't hold it for very long. So, drinking a bit of the selection that our friend Glenn McCallum brought up to us from McCallum and Sons in downtown Tacoma. Asked him, give me 4 or 5 bottles that are really cool, and he brought them up, and these are really cool. This one I think is called the Jury. It is a rebottled Dickel 15-year bourbon, and it is quite nice. If you are wondering, audio is a bit low, is the comment. Nice, cold and heavy, absolutely. It's a bit low. All right, well, let's crank it up. We're gonna bring that audio up a little bit for you. It could have been that I was away from the mic. It's probably better now that I'm here. So, yeah, we'll bump it up a couple dB for you. How's that, Oris? Is that getting any better? One of these times we'll stop switching out mics and we'll write these parameters down. But we keep making it better. This is one of our fancy mics, and when we did a couple checks versus the other mics that we had, this one generally was better. So, all right, how about now? Yeah, that's getting up into the yellow now. That's looking better. I think that'll be just fine and dandy. Fine and dandy. When you're drinking whiskey from your friend Glenn McCallum, you end up speaking a little bit different than you might otherwise. Probably sound like a pirate more so than anything else. Hey, Glenn's here. How you doing, brother? Cheers. He doesn't sound like a pirate either. And I'm not sure where Irish and Scottish and pirates came to somehow be intertwined. So that's an odd one. So we've got a sale. Most everybody who has joined us so far either has most of our parts or doesn't need any more parts. But if you did want some parts, we have an exhaust sale going on. We also have a couple things that hopefully others will want to partake in. We are offering free installation for full lab rat packages. So wherever you're at in the world, we had a gentleman reach out last week. Didn't hear from him this week. Captains of industry and whatnot get busy. They want to make phone calls to talk about cars. They don't always get to. Yeah, true. So we can help you with the mic, Doug. Some of the solutions for mics can be pricey, but depends on how awesome you want it to sound. So free install on full lab rat packages. Lab rat packages essentially are suspension, aero, and power or brakes, depending on where you're at. And we will install those from anywhere across the country for free. We did this for our friend Scott Davidson. He got free install. He did a full GT4RS lab rat package. We're doing that for our friend John McClellan. He's finishing out his lab rat package, his aero, and his power package is already on the car, and it's ripping. And his aero will be on the car early next week once we get it back from Jacob. Orange light looks good. The next one that we will be building after that is there's a couple remote ones that are going down. There's a couple 991.2 GT3 RSs that are getting done. For those that are interested, this is a pretty screaming deal. When you look at, so we've looked at some of the other, we'll call them full packages being offered in the marketplace, and I kind of did a deep dive into them. What all you get from the Porsche Tech Equipment, aka MR series parts, and you get a wing that fits on the factory uprights, depending on which car we're talking about. You get some plastic underbody bits. You get some brake lines. You get some brake pads. You get KW suspension. That's what you get. And it's like 60 grand. So from that standpoint, when you start to look at what you can get from us with a full carbon splitter, a much larger wing, actual working dual dive planes of significance, all just aero, suspension arms and MCS dampeners, PFC full brake package, power package with headers and a muffler and an intake in some cases, and that's a little over 60. So it's a pretty good upgrade to move the car fully that way if that's how you wanted to move it. So what else we got? GT4RS full D3 packages. So D3 package for Dundon is headers, muffler, and intake. So that's what we've done for depends on the combination, but Ed, that might be right. It's still, and if you don't want to do brakes, you can cut that down. If you don't want to do other things, you can cut that down. It's definitely more than brake pads and brake lines. Put it that way. The 60 to 130 times are something that we are looking to have others do on the GT4RS platform that want to install a full D3 package. It's 73 for MR? Wow. Okay, I'm way off. The GT4RS, because of the intake and because we have static air in our dyno, we don't really know. What's up, Black Walter? We don't really know how much power it's going to make once the car's in a ram air situation, when it's actually got significant air coming through. Yes, brake lines are braided. Hopefully they don't break like the other ones that we've had around here that people have upgraded to. It's kind of scary. To say that you need brake lines on a Porsche is pushing it. I don't know how to go there. Anyway, back to my offer. 60 to 130 times, you get $3,000 off the package. So the way that works is as a rebate, we'll send you the Dragy. You do it stock. We send you the parts. You install all the parts. You get posts and send us the data. Once we get the data and we know that everything's copacetic and those runs are valid, you get a $3,000 refund on your package. So it's about a little over 15% back as a rebate. So it almost gets the intake for free. You can think of it that way. So trying to get those out. We've got some mufflers pre-sold. We've got a couple guys who have done intakes, getting a couple more of them to want to put that together. And this is for 4RS guys. This isn't for GT4 guys, not yet. We are taking a slightly different tact on the GT4. We had originally thought, for those waiting for a muffler for the GT4, we were going to make valves that would adapt the existing over-axle pipes that we've made for that car to the GT4RS muffler. And we're taking a different tact on that. That's going to be much more expensive than the 4RS muffler and valves that come for the 4RS because of the complications with doing that. So we're going to go back and we're going to go after the over-axle pipes, which are far less expensive to modify. So we're going to make a couple bits that adapt to the 4RS catalysts and valves so that you can run our muffler. And we would do that on an exchange basis for anybody that has those parts currently. So that's the play with that. What else? Let's talk a little. Actually, I like the picture you just put up. Let's put that up. No. The two lab rats, Adams and Eds. Yeah, there you go. So we got a couple lab rats out for a photo shoot. Oh, I think I've got it. Give me 1 sec. Slack it to you. I gotta get over here. Did I download them? 1 second. We must get to these wonderful pictures that Ed put up and download them. There we go. Select all 6. And save. We're so prepared sometimes for this. Hey, that is a GT4RS exhaust. It's beautiful. That is our wave pipe. Notice how it does not go over the over axle. It goes through the axle, therefore remaining quite short. Why is being short better? Why is it? It's taken us 12 iterations on our muffler till we're happy with it. Because making it as short as possible gives you more horsepowers. Gives you many more horsepowers. So I'll throw this in social. Give me 1 second. Where'd it go? What the fuck? It's at the top. That's why I can't find it. Oh, yeah. We got some farewell lab rat photos. Car is leaving on Monday. Finally. All right. There we go. Coming at you. So making the exhaust, the secondary length as short as possible and the overall length as short as possible is one of those things about enhancing and keeping the strength of the pressure waves as high as you can, as high as they can be, the strength of the waves. That's why it's taken us a while. Anybody who's doing an exhaust that has these big loops in the middle and a big X merge and a loop around, all that bit, they're losing power. Probably less than stock. So I think that's just about everybody. What? Who said that? What? Sorry, that something slipped out. Ooh, that's a good one. All right, we're gonna roll some goodbye picks of the GT4RS Lab Rat. We're gonna miss this one. It's one of the few mid-engine Caymans that I actually am gonna miss because this thing, man, it's got lots of power. It's got great aero. It is kind. It's quick. Bill's gonna love it. Bill's gonna love it. That's a good shot. Caleb hit that one really nice. Absolutely. Caleb took all these picks. We did this real quick last night because the light was nice. It was a sunny day, rare for us in February. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, that's so pretty. The ramp actually works good, doesn't it? Yeah, we've got this is our next door neighbor. This is Tacoma Screw, one of their warehouse facilities. Um, and just running it up, backing it into the ramp. It's a nice little backdrop. Puts the car on a nice angle. Makes it very picturesque and pleasant to the eye, if you will. All right, so here's some of the kind of quick iPhone snaps that our buddy Ed took of Adam and Ed's car out in Idaho, not in Spokane. It's in Idaho. Never thought I'd meet some guys from Idaho that were so like adamant it can't be Washington, but you know, I get it. Washington's very blue. Idaho is not. So these are going to be dueling lab rats. This is these guys are buddies. They're both from the same town. Full aero, full MCS suspension. Will fit an E46 M3. Kinda. I know a guy that can help with that. The Winner's Circle. Zebulon, our friends that help craft this, have a whole slew of parts, of which I know you already know about because I saw your E36. The Winner's Circle is going to Super Lap Battle in Texas, and his car is going to look very much like this, except his and Jason's car is the black and white Dundon liveried car. So it's going to go very quickly because he's getting a few upgrades, both power-wise and aero-wise. So we're very excited. And I think I got him talked into using Supercar 3Rs the whole time. We'll see. Everybody's enamored with Cup 2Rs except those that have run them and realize they're good for a lap. And at the Nürburgring, sometimes they're good for half a lap, and then they're done. So I'd rather run 19s and Supercar 3Rs than spend money on... Oh, you want all that aero for your daily? Dude, that's not... E46 is beautiful. I'd leave that thing alone. Save you dollars for tires at this point. Those California Canyons, exactly. Well, they are fun with a stick shift. That's more fun. So, yes, Mr. Stedding, we do need to get a Guards Red Dundon windshield banner. Probably something we can talk to Taylor about because we do have time. He did do the Dundon livery on the wing. I think, didn't we get that done? Do we need to get that done? I forget. Do you have a Dundon livery on the bottom of your wing, Doug? Do you remember, Justin? Did we do that? I don't think we did. I think we ran out of time. I think he was here, but he was doing something else. So we'll come back to that. That one's easy. So, what else has been going on around here? Pumpkin is running under its own power. So, need wing too. All right, we can get that done. Pumpkin's running under its own power. Our friend Dan is going through some CAN errors so that we can make sure everything's perfect. We're also getting some mechanicals done. We've got a spline adapter and a bell housing spacer such that we can get the axles where we want it because my 997 GT3 RS has a 991.2 GT3 RS engine and a PDK in it. And it's all running on the factory ECUs. That was the tricky bit. So making it all happy in the factory ECUs was the tricky bit. So hopefully Dan gets that back to us before the end of the month, and we can get all the electronics kind of put together. And then I might have another car to drive, which would be cool because my 992 GT3 RS is indeed in port quarantine. That's why we're having the sale. So your benefit is my loss, or my something like that, however that goes. They're moving cars back out. They're trying to the boys are trying to borrow our JDM tow truck to can't even hear it. That's good. to try and go rescue a friend, but our JDM tow truck has been sitting since the last time we used it at the track, so probably has a very flat battery. So they might need to charge it and whatnot, but it's fine. They can borrow it if they can get it started. Which I can hear it. That might be it. I don't know. Anyway, not that important. We will have a wonderful showing at Smokies this year. So the second track day is ago for those of you that have signed up for it. Our friend John McClellan is bringing his GT4 RS full lab rat, which is going to be fantastic. Seth Thomas is going to be there with his 991.2 GT3 RS full lab rat. Mr. Doug Stedding is going to be there in his 991.1 Cup special lab rat. And Pumpkin should be there, which is the original lab rat. And we will also have the stock versions of all of those cars. Plan is to run them all head to head with Mr. Lee Keen as the pro, and then the owners of the vehicles as the amateurs. And the amateurs will swap cars, and the pro will swap cars, and we'll see how fast everybody goes. I'm expecting the lab rats to fare quite well, because they're really damn fast. Super fun. What's on everybody's mind tonight? I haven't asked what's going down with everybody. Sounds like Mr. Stedding was skiing all day. Good for you. And Ed's joining friends at 6 for dinner, which is awesome. I knew that. Mike, did you decide what car you're getting? I know we were chatting there for a little bit about Cayman or GT3 there for a minute. So did you make a decision? Don't everybody answer at once now. This is the talking to the community. Waiting to load in at COTA. Yeah, buddy. 85 and sunny. That's a good day at COTA. Have fun. Has everyone caught our Aerodynamics 101 by now on YouTube? No, it's kind of long, but there's a lot going on in there. I know a number of you have seen it and watched it. Lean in GT3 for sure. Right on. Right on. I think that's the right move for you, especially having been in a Cayman for a while now. Getting back into a rear engine 992 will be it'll be fun. It'll be surprising how easy it comes in that car. Yeah, what do you got, GT3 Matty? Sometimes the internets are slow. Go for question. Yeah. Right? Your RS came and had issues with the carbon hood. Uh-oh. Like cars and coffee issues or structural issues? I assume that means didn't look good. Okay. That's a good start. They sent a replacement. Did they let you keep the janky one? I assume not. Yep. Okay, let me see if I can. They will let you keep the back. Okay, so car came with a carbon hood. There was some problem with it. You got a new carbon hood, but you're not sure about changing to the new one because you're gonna destroy it anyway because you're gonna drive it on track. So now you're gonna have a brand new hood for later. I mean, it's what's the question? Uh, not sure I'm qualified to answer this because tis not my car. Um, I know you're going to be driving the car on track, which means that the hood is going to take some damage. If they're going to let you keep the replacement or the stock one, I'd leave the stock one on it. Okay, I still don't understand the complete question. You okay? So you're worried about the paint on it? Is that what we're worried about? Yeah, it's kind of where I'm at, Mike. I'm like, still not sure what the question is. So it came unpainted and now will need to be painted. And the question is, will the paint from somewhere else be okay. You have to paint the lines on the Wysock hood. Gotcha. Okay, fine. Um Aftermarket paint, I'm sure it's gonna look fine. Your car looks to be white. Um so relatively easy to match. But um I'm not a paint and body guy, so that's uh if you can put PPF on the original and it doesn't hurt anything, then Porsche can send the new one back. They don't have to be charged for it, so that's um yeah, yep. I got there eventually. So yeah, I'd be yeah, I don't know. That's yeah, I kind of agree with Ed. It's kind of the painter's job to make sure that it's good. Um will the dealer have it painted? Will the dealer warranty the paint on it? That kind of thing to make sure that it's done correctly. It's probably not going to be as good um as uh oh, that's a question. Henry Chen. The factory paint is going to be better than aftermarket paint. I agree with that. But aftermarket paint can be as good as factory paint if you take it to a good painter and it is cured properly. So, I mean, I think your cars come from Champion, and I know Champion has their own body shop, so I would assume that it's going to be done right. So, and like Ed said, don't accept it if it's not right. What's that? He might have. I don't know. Mr. Henry Chen. That is a difficult question. So, what's a better choice between a 4RS, a 992 GT3, or a 991.2 RS? They're all very different cars, even though they're very close together, similar engines. 992 GT3 is going to be probably the easiest one of them to drive fast stock. 4RS can be really fun, but you need a lot of parts for it to make it approachable and fast. This is a conversation that Mick PDX and I were having. 991.2 GT3 RS, that one's a good car. That one has a special place in my heart. The it's an RS, So that's a good place to start. The 992 GT3 will never be an RS. The GT4 RS is still kind of handicapped by being a Cayman. It's sad, but it is the truth. It's a McPherson strut car all the way around. It is special because the intake. It's quite noisy in there. It can be quite fast. Nope. For rear engine is not harder to drive. Rear engine is actually quite easy to drive. Mid-engine is harder to drive because both axles, you can spin it like a top, either on corner entry or corner exit. So if it's going to be a track car, rear engine car, you rotate it on corner entry, and as soon as you hit the gas, it has a lot more traction. So that's one of the brilliant things of a 911 platform. If Porsche would have given the Cayman proper sports car kinematics, meaning the way that the suspension works together and keeps the tires in contact with the ground and pointed the right way down the road, it would have been incredible. But they had to handicap it some way. It can't be better than a GT3 or an RS. What we did with the car is we calmed all that down so that the rear of the car feels planted, is planted, has more traction. The front of the car has more traction. It has proper aero all around. And the 4RS is fantastic. So the intakes we make aren't for sound, honestly. So let's talk about that. The intakes we make are for performance. And hearing a rear engine car's intake sound is very different than, say, an M3, an E46 M3 CSL, where the carbon airbox is in front of you. You can hear it kind of emanating through the driver's window, especially with the window down. You can hear that sucking sound, those intake induction noises. It's visceral. It helps with the emotion, but we can get all that plus more with exhaust sound, with the burbles and the pops and the growls on D-cell and all that kind of good stuff. So on a 991.2 GT3 RS with our carbon intake, you can hear more intake sound, but you have to be next to something. You need to be next to something that's going to reflect that sound back towards the car. And honestly, I think the 4RS's intake sound is overstated. Yes, it has some, but yeah, 991.2 may have double wishbone at some point, but it doesn't yet. We're working on that. And any of the cars that you get, follow your heart. We can help fix the things that ail them. 992 GT3 can contend with a 992 GT3 RS with our aero and our suspension and our power packages. 991.2 GT3 RS, same thing. We can get them upgraded. That's part of what we're going to Road Atlanta to demonstrate. Stock cars versus fully kitted cars, and having a 992 3RS there that's stock to run them all against. So that should make for some interesting testing. And it goes right along with our own testing that we do in-house, taking them to the track, letting amateurs run them, letting pros run them, and demonstrating lap time differences. Testing, putting our money where our mouth is, or our mouth where our money is, whatever the case is. For those of you interested to understand what our GT4 RS full exhaust system sounds like, it is on YouTube. Check it out. You guys are already here. Just poke around in our videos after we're done here tonight. You can have a listen to it. We've been getting some positive feedback. Matt Mormon said he wants to buy one of these cars after hearing that video. So that's very cool. Thank you for that, Matt. One of our local 4RS owners, Christian, who doesn't give compliments easily, liked our video. So that was very nice. He actually liked the comparison and the method by which we put the video together. I think he also liked the exhaust. I'm not sure. He didn't say yes or no. He's a little coy about that, but that's cool. So that's the... See, my car's still in the port in quarantine. We've got a sale going on because of it. 10% off and all exhausts and 15% off tie muffler exhausts. We've got a rebate for GT4RS D3 packages. We've got free install on full lab rat packages. So we got a whole slew of things going on right now. So a 991.1 GT3 with a G6 motor, those aero parts are coming up soon. So we are still working on the deck lid. We've had Horobeye working on that. Yes. Or Henry can just get a cup car, absolutely. So 992 with an exhaust still sound as good as the 991.2. These newer cars, even with valves unplugged, seem to lack lower range sound. Your question surrounds the OPF that is on the 992. When you run our street headers, especially if you're calling from America, you can take that off and run our street headers, and all of those sound concerns disappear. They just vaporize on the 992. 992 sounds as good as the 991.2 GT3 RS with our parts on it. Stock for stock, they sound very different. 992 D3 is pretty quiet. So that's the gist. A little bit of a rundown on GT cars tonight. Oh, that's for Larry? Larry Beck? Or Doug? Doug. It's for Doug. Oh, geez. You gonna make him run that in his car? Oh, yeah. That's... All right. All right. Roll those in the screen. So these are the mic boxes. We can talk about these later as far as outputs and whatnot. These are what we run in the car to get good sound. Wiring this bad boy in is going to be a little bit of a challenge. But it allows you to balance the mic's gain and not just run purely off the mic. So getting that good sound. This is the mic we got the audio off of. This is a $500 microphone. Used to be a $1,000 microphone. So it's what makes the sultry sounds of Jamie sound so delicious. So, you bet, Henry. Let us know if we can be any more help. This would be for some of the mic stuff, audio stuff. This is a big boy setup. This is probably overkill. But it would certainly solve the problem. And I can get you details on that, Doug. I can get you some. I mean, one of this has got eight microphone inputs. I don't think you need 8 mics. But if you wanted to sound really, really bitchin', you could. I don't know. So anywho, anybody got anything else? Because I got some burgers to go get and some more boys to send some invoices to. Yeah, we can do that. Output into a yeah. There you go. That side. I think this one does too as I like bonk it on the ground. Yeah, there you go. Doot, 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 doot. There it is. So, hardware and whatnot. Cool. $500 microphone does not scare me. Then this one's pretty fantastic. Whoa, when did the fuzzy thing disappear? Has that been gone the whole time? Oh, okay. I was like, how'd that happen? And so I'm paying attention over here. What are these mystical Gig Harbor burgers, Mr. Thomas West? I think we're talking about the gourmet burger. Gourmet burger over here. Is it worth making the trek from the worst side of the water? Yeah, maybe. Maybe. They're pretty good. They're pretty good. They put ketchup and such in the burger. They're big stacks. The buns are delicious. It's just a little shack. It's not anything fancy, but the burgers are good. So we get them from time to time over here, but we're spoiled. I used to get them quite a bit more often. All right, y'all, I'm going to take off. Thank you all for being awesome and joining us. Watch out for our 3-hour documentary with Mr. Charles Dundon. Hopefully Justin can cut that down to something a little bit more bite-sized for all of you on the basics of an engine. I think they are 80% lean. You got to have that fat for juice, but you know that. Mike likes to kid. He's a chef and a restaurateur, so he knows what's up. All right. And when you come by, make sure to stop by. We're only like 2 miles down the road from there. So, all right, y'all. I'm going to take off. Y'all have a wonderful